Hello everyone, I'm Lincoln, and I am made of robots. Today's robot is Fall of Cybertron Soundwave and a bunch of his little data disk buddies. Now, I hate to say it, I've barely played War for Cybertron. I haven't played any of Fall of Cybertron. I heard it was even better than the other one. I heard Fall was a really great game. I'll check it out at some point. I got quite a game backlog going right now. But since I love collecting sound waves, I figured I'd keep it going, and we'll talk about this guy. I'm a sucker for Soundwave, and if he's got... They released a bunch of stuff for him to shoot out of his chest. How could I not buy this guy? I mean, he's a badass, chunky mother. Look at that. Has a little seat on top for the cannon. The cannon's removable. You know why. Actually, I'll pop that off for now. Because I kind of wish that you could fold the seat down, but you really can't the way the engineering for the thing is set up. But it'd be nice if we could just have like as a straight little terrifying chompy van. Got this great just chest, this terrifying grill. I like him. I think he looks pretty good. Suffers a little in the back, but not too much. Still really like it. Underside's not too bad. Not a bunch of robot kibble or anything. Actually, fairly cohesive. Looks pretty great. And of course, you know, I love the color scheme. These like little... There's these little like pinky purple details picked out. The translucent plastic of the tires is nice with the silver on them. Like, this guy's fairly nicely painted. There's not a whole lot. Almost everything I'm looking at now that I think, oh, that'd be nice if it was picked out with a little detail. It doesn't have paint, but it'll have... There's even just different textures. Like, this is all a different texture than this. These little bits in here and here, which instead of doing paint, they're just a different texture, which still helps them pop out, which is nice. He's got a gimmick, and I could show it off in this mode, but I'm not going to, because it's even trickier to get working in this than it is normally. We'll get into that in a minute or two after I transform this sucker. First off, for transformation, you take this and you lift this up. It's on kind of this little spine thing, and you can pop it back even further just to get it all out of the way. I guess next we'll do feet. Just kind of, lift the toe up a little bit, for one, because it's not pegged in, but it's definitely, it sits on top of this little doodad sticking up, makes it a little trickier. And it's also kind of tabbed in there. Just kind of pull that foot out, straighten the leg out, pull the foot out, and then you take this thing and rotate it this way. It will not rotate the other direction, it just won't go. So you rotate it down this way, you can feel it pop into place, and there's one leg. Come over here, do it to the other side, just a little trickier now that he's standing. But yeah, pretty easy. Overall, this guy is a simple transformation, but it's still fun and nice. It's still satisfying. His crotch, you know, his waist piece is right here. And I kind of just flip it around while holding the teeth, not the teeth, the legs, so that it's straight, just snaps on right there. Only real complaint I have is that this thing is loose. Well, you move this and you press it in and that's his chest. I'll lift the camera in a second. The thing I hate, though, is that this, in vehicle mode, it doesn't tab in. It's got these little teeth at the top to help it kind of sit in place. But as soon as you're transforming it, anything taps it, and now it's this floppy, weird piece. So I'm going to press that in to be his chest right now. I don't know. Need to raise the camera a little bit, guys. Woo! That was fun. Next, I guess we flip open this. I know it's fun to do the head reveal last, but you can't do it with this guy. And you take arm, kind of unfold it. They're on these, pop it out from the side, they're on these double hinge kind of things. So they were lower. You move them up, rotate this around. You can flip this little thing back. You kind of just position the arm and the hand will come out from inside. Before you do that, you should flip that back. Alright, we'll flip that up, then we'll flip this guy back. Pop this out and up. Doesn't clip into place at all, which is kind of annoying. Flip his hand out. These little guys. And this whole spine thing at the back, you can do that. You can actually do all of this. This you can push forward a bit. And you can press this. You got to flip these out a little bit. In about as far as it will go. And I'll show you what's up with that in a minute. Oh wait, I was about to say, so here's basic Soundwave. I love him and he looks great. I think he's a very nice representation of the figure, of the character. They've got this great head sculpt going on, very classic. It's kind of hard to tell, but he's got some very nice light piping going on in there. And then, this little guy wouldn't be complete if it couldn't, there's a little hole over there, you can peg it in. And you've got a pretty nice Soundwave going on. But, see, there's this little tab sticking up over here. And his hand has this protruding finger. And it's tricky, but you can totally have Soundwave pop his chest open, and there's Laserbeak. You push this thing in all the way to pop Laserbeak out. We'll see how this goes. That's what happens a lot of the time. There's no way to get a consistent shot of this. And especially in robot mode, it's... See, in vehicle mode, this flap just kind of doesn't hang down low enough, so you can't get a good shot. And in robot mode, it's... This back thing doesn't have the right kind of pressure. The way it's supposed to work is that these guys pop out. There's this little button on the bottom that causes them to transform. It doesn't really work. Hold on one second. I need a flatter, harder surface than this table is going to give me. Let's see. We'll see how this works. That actually worked pretty well. Laserbeak's one of the ones that actually tends to work fairly well. I like that. It doesn't launch out of him very well, and that's a shame. But it's nice that this actually works. Maybe not with the gimmick, but when you do it on your own, it works fine. It's a pretty good Laserbeak. Got a very Laserbeak head going on. Ooh, you could use a little paint or something. And now I'm wondering if I haven't checked in a while. There might be repro labels for this. Someone's got to remind me. I got to go on repro labels and just buy like 5 or 6 figures worth of stuff at this point. But there's Laserbeak that he comes with, which is nice. This is pretty good. And I really like Laserbeak. He doesn't attach to Soundwave at all, so you can't have him... You can have him balance on his arm, but he doesn't actually clip on or anything, so it's very easy to get him knocked over or something. When I had him on display, every time I bumped the shelf or something, it tended to fall off. But they also released... I don't remember which came with which. We've got Rumble Frenzy, Ravage, and Ratbat. I'm not going to get into the Rumble Frenzy thing. To me, Rumble's the blue guy. That's just how it's always been to me. I don't remember which one came with which animal, but we'll go through them. We'll do Ratbat first. And another great thing about these 2 packs, they come with the data disc holders in this nice Energon purple. They got the Decepticon logo on them. They fold open. They hold the discs nice and securely. They also look cool, kind of empty, just sitting around. So here we have Ratbat, who is this Ratbat-ish pinky purple. Some greens and goldy greens going on. I like this color scheme. It really works for him. And more or less, he is just Laserbeak. Different head sculpt, different tail sculpt. Actually, slightly different tail sculpt. See, they're essentially the same figure. They've got the same kind of transformation going on. But they did manage, like, Ratbat has little bat feet. And a bit of a tail. Laserbeak has just the one big tail. That's all he's got. So they do a good job of making them slightly different. Ratbat's in more of this... I feel like he's a lighter grayish plastic, and this is much darker. Yeah, the underside's pretty much the same. But yeah, nice. And I like... The transformation works, and I always liked Ratbat. I like just the little bat guy. I like the color scheme. We'll do both the humanoids last, since they're identical. Here we go with Ravage. I'm not going to get the blaster version of this that's all Autobots. I'm not going to get the Shockwave version. Or no, the Sound Blaster. I think, was that it? I don't remember. I'm not going to get the recolors. I don't need the Autobot versions of all the little data discs. But there is a Trapjaw or whatever version of this guy. This is the weakest of their data discs because it has the most transformation you have to do. See? Comes out like this. That's not that great. So what you do is you reach in, you flip out his tail, you have to come back here and actually squeeze that, and they'll kind of not lock but clip into place. To fold out legs. And there you go. And while he's the weakest transformation-wise, I still think he looks pretty decent. He's a little hollow inside, but still not a bad Ravage. Got a decent head on him. It's actually painted, which is very nice. It's Laserbeak. They couldn't even put that little bit of red on his eyes. But this is pretty nice. Transformation kind of stinks, but I like it. Now, do Rumble and Frenzy. Doing Rumble first since he's childhood favorite and all of that. Little split. That's unfortunate. That happens sometimes. Let's try this again. Ah! I'm just going to press the thing. There we go. And we end up with this little thing. What you have to do is flip these out. And you kind of have to stand him and wiggle him. You can't just put them all the way out forward or he'll fall forward. And you rotate some arms down. And you've got a pretty decent little cassette bot. Yeah, they do a pretty good job of representing the head sculpt. He's got some paint and everything. Looks pretty nice little humanoid figure at the end of the day. So that's Rumble or Frenzy. Let's try Frenzy or Rumble. Hey, he worked fine today. I mean, they can't like transform and be ready to rock, but it's kind of a little lame that they come out like this. Flip the little feeties out, put these guys down. There we go. They're identical. Yeah, they have the same heads and everything. They, in theory, could hold small weapons. I haven't actually tried that. I have the Target exclusive translucent Monstercons or whatever. You know, the Abominus set. And I bet those little like Voyager class weapons or whatever, those like tiny weapons might fit in those hands. Haven't tried it yet. I like them though. I really do. I'm really happy that, you know, it's the pair of them and I can have, you know, the nice complete set. I love that. Hold on, I'm going to set some stuff up. I love that I can have all the, well, not all, you could never do that, but most of these cassettes that were released. I like Soundwave having a team of minions. It's always seemed kind of fun to me. Let's get a nice little shot for everyone. His legs are splayed really wide. Alright. Up. I'm just going to physically move the camera. But look at that. That's a nice little shot of all the guys hanging out together. We've got Soundwave, Rumble, Frenzy, Ravage, Ratbat, and Laserbeak. That's pretty fun. I'm sorry I knocked you guys over. I'm gonna fold these guys back up. I may as well show you that real quick. This rotates, which folds the head in. That goes on top of it. These little guys close up to the sides. And the same goes for Ratbat. Now everything's held in place. Until I put him down in exactly the way that he transformed and pop the gimmick again. There. Put that down like that. I'll do the same with this guy. Just gonna flip that around, close everything up, and bam. For Rumble and Frenzy, it's actually pretty neat. Stick their arms back up, their feet roughly back where they belong. This is tricky. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to pull this off on camera while I do all this. So those you fold in. These have to get folded out and they come all the way up. Then when you get to this point, they have to rotate like that. And then they pop back in. Not too bad. I love this guy. I think he's great. This is definitely something I was happy to buy. One last thing about this little gimmick thing. I'm going to push this all the way back. He has quite a big open deep chest. Because you can fit 3 separate data disc dudes inside. Oh wow. Data disc dudes reminds me, sounds like it should be some sort of Power Rangers knockoff from the mid-90s. Like, I remember there was some show that it was an American-produced version, and it was Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters. That's what I was thinking of. Whew, what an abysmal thing. And there, all 3 guys fit inside. I'd try and do the gimmick thing for you, but it's not going to work. Well, it might work a little bit. Nope. That worked, but he flew too far. Yeah, this last one you don't really get. It doesn't really pop out well. So the launching gimmick stinks. The actual transforming gimmick of all the guys, I like, and I really enjoy. And another thing I gotta get in, because pretty much everything in robot mode is stuff that you can see in vehicle mode, but you didn't really get to see. It's like behind his chest in vehicle mode, or behind this grill in vehicle mode. He's got the little speakers and such, which is great because when he's closed up, it gives him this great chest. I think that looks really nice. Really appropriate for Soundwave. So that's Fall of Cybertron Soundwave and his plethora of data discs. They're a lot of fun. They're not the coolest toys in the world, but I think it's not. I'm a sucker for Soundwave and all the little cassettes. They're fun. I like them. Their characters are going to probably keep picking up over the years. It's very nice stuff. So if you like him, there's like I said, there's a blaster repaint. There's I forget. I always forget what the other version of Soundwave is. And I feel terrible for that, because it's something I really should know if I like the character that much. But, there's always this recolor of him you see a lot. And they did a version of that, too. Any of them, I suggest picking up. They look pretty good. The Soundwave one looks the best to me. The data discs, it's the same toy, so go collect any of the data discs that you like. They'll all work in each other's little chest cavities and such. Yeah, he's a great little toy. I like him. It's a good version of everything. I've heard that he's very accurate to the game. And before we go, forgot. There's one little thing I want to do. Okay, sorry about that. I thought I was going to turn him into a somewhat decent-looking boombox, and after a few minutes of struggling with it, I've completely forgotten how to do so. The smaller version of the figure does it far better, though I don't know that. But I'm not really too concerned, because he's great. I really, I'm a Soundwave fanboy. What can I say? This is a good rendition of the figure. Good rendition of all the tapes. I really enjoy the figure. You guys should pick them up. Yeah. All right. So, this has been Lincoln. And I am made of robots. I'll talk to you guys next time.